Wake up! What's up guys, Ian here from Sleep Deprivation, back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about luck, but more specifically, luck with Legion Legendaries. Now, a lot of people, when they talk about luck, they like to throw out things like, oh, I have such bad luck, or oh, I have such good luck, all that kind of jazz. Now, Legendaries in Legion are a very luck-based system. They can pretty much drop off of any mob at any time. I've gotten them from raid bosses, killing random monsters out in the world, heroic dungeons, you name it. I've seen someone get it from loot from winning a battleground. So every class has their own set of legendaries, and every specialization has different legendaries as well. Now there are certain ones that go across multiple specializations and some that are specialization specific. Like notice how if I go for Fury, there's this list here. Prot, some of them change, some of them are the same. So, as Fury, there are a grand total of 15 legendaries. But one of them is pretty much exempt, the Aman'Thul's Vision. That's the trinket that basically no one ever sees because it's so fucking rare. I've never seen anyone get it ever. Maybe one of these days, hopefully, probably not. Another one that we ignore is the crafted one, because that one's pretty much only used by people who want to level, and unless you've bought that one or crafted it yourself, you're probably not going to be using it. So, other than that, you have 13. Now, out of those 13, there's one that you're going to guaranteed get, and that is this one here. It's the insignia of the Grand Army. So we're going to ignore that one as well. So out of the 15, 3 are ignored, which leaves us with 12. Also, out of the 3 that I have ignored, one of them you're never ever going to get, and the other 2 are bad anyway, so you wouldn't really use them as Fury because they're not going to boost your DPS all that much, because they have, what, a chance to heal little bits of your shit. And this ring's pretty much universally one of the worst legendaries for every spec of every class. So, at this point, I have all the legendaries for Fury and one for Protection. Now, where my bad luck comes into is the order that I gained it in. Now, in order for you to understand this, as Fury, there's really only 3 legendaries that are really fucking good. One is the pants that give you rampage critical strikes against primary targets, a chance to generate 6 rage, not chance, guaranteed chance. So that is amazing, meaning that if all 5 of your rampage strikes crit, you're going to gain 30 rage. So whenever your battle cry is up, your rampage is giving you 30 rage. And on top of that, that means you're getting off more rampages during when your cooldowns are up, which if you're running Battle Cry and Bloodbath and Avatar, that's a ton of boosted DPS. Also, the tier for warriors, if I find it here, your set bonuses both boost your rampage damage, one of them being 18% more damage over time, and the other being 25% extra damage when Battle Cry is activated. So having this legendary makes it the best legendary you can have. Best in slot. The other 2 that are really good is the helmet. Every time you enrage, so whenever you use rampage and whenever your bloodthirst crits, that gives you 8 rage. Also, really amazing. The more rage you generate, the more damage you're going to deal, the more rampages you're getting off, especially with these new set bonuses that boost rampage damage. It's just really, really good. And the final one that's really good is the Soul of the Battlelord ring, which gives you an additional talent. For Fury, it gives you Massacre, which the Massacre talent makes your execute critical strikes reduce the rage cost of your next rampage by 100%. Now, normally, without that, you're basically executing and bloodthirsting, and that's pretty much it. And then whenever you would enrage, you would use more executes, and you're not using rampage at all. But with this talent, you're basically just spamming nothing but execute and rampage during your execute phase, sometimes weaving in extra bloodthirsts and Odin's Furies just to generate rage. So it makes your execute phase terrifyingly stronger. You do so much more damage. It's insane. It's a really good one. But other than these three, the rest of them don't really do much for single target DPS. I mean, you got the belt, which is good for AoE, makes your whirlwinds hit one more time if you're hitting 3 more targets. But let's go over them, shall we? You have the bracers, which heal you when you use rage, which doesn't boost your DPS. You have that ring that you get guaranteed that I already talked about that we're ignoring that is shitty. Then you have this other ring, Cepha's Secret, which is shitty in the stats that it gives, because the biggest stat it gives is crit, which crit is not really good as Fury. You want lots of haste and mastery, so okay. And then it gives you a little bit of movement speed and haste, and if you're interrupting, which you very, very rarely get to do on bosses, you get a nice extra boost to haste, but it's pretty shit. Then you have the shoulders, which give you nice mobility, but nothing really to boost DPS. It just makes you heroic leap more. Then you have this ring, the Ayala's Stone's Heart or whatever. Once again, no haste on it. Crit is the main stat. What the fuck? And you might think, hey, your attacks have a chance to make your next execute cost no rage and be usable regardless of target, or on any target regardless of health. That sounds pretty good, right? One problem. The main thing that makes execute so amazing is the stacks that it builds up. As you use execute, as long as you keep using it every 8 seconds or more, you get a stacking buff that increases the damage of your next execute by 8%. So you want to be using them in a row, and getting to use one every now and then it's still good, but it doesn't show up very often, and it often just kind of messes with your rotation a little bit. So it's a DPS increase, but not really that great. Then there's the Trinket, Burning Wish, which has nice stats. Don't get me wrong, the stats are nice, but the use function is okay, I guess. I don't know. It's not great, and besides, you already get really good trinkets with warriors. I mean, you have the one you get, the Khaz'goroth's Courage or whatever, that you're going to be using anyway, and warriors absolutely need to use Convergence of Fate, so you don't really have room for that trinket anyway. Then you have the Cloak, which is, out of all the other ones, the next best one, minus the fact that, once again, no haste. Crit is the best stat there, like, what the fuck. But it does give you a 4% flat increase in DPS, which 4% it's alright. It's nothing great. Nowhere near as big as these fucking 3. But, yeah, it's okay. Then you have a necklace that has nice stats, but it gives you an absorption shield, so not really boosted DPS. And then you have boots, which increase movement speed. Yay, you can move faster. So the legendaries, for the most part, are shitty or minimally affect you for single target, except for the big 3. The Soul of the Battlelord, the Helm, and the Pants. Now, knowing that, I'm going to go over the order in which I got these legendaries. My very first legendary was these bracers that heal you. And in case you're thinking that, healing is not that bad, it doesn't boost my DPS. And the funny thing is, it's actually a best in slot tank legendary. So as Fury DPS, I got a best in slot tank legendary. Now the second one I got was pretty decent. It was the belt, but once again, only AoE. So my single target DPS is currently ass, because I have a belt that doesn't really even give that great of stats. Like, there's no haste on it, and it boosts my AoE, but nothing to single target. And then from that point on, I don't remember the exact order of the rest of them, but I got all the other shitty ones except for the big 3. The final 3 legendaries I got were the ones that are the most important. I got them in the exact worst possible order. I got the ring first, which is great, and the ring's probably a little bit better than the helm. Then I got the helm, and then the final one I got was the legendary pants, which, by the way, I've been using the Awakening Essence to unlock most of my legendaries. And the kicker, the absolute most hilarious thing about all of this is that when I finally got these legendary pants and I put them on and I decide to run in and go attack something, the first fucking monster I kill, I get a new legendary, and it's a best in slot tank legendary. So I now have the Walls Fell, which is the best in slot tank legendary that generates rage and reduces the cooldown of shield wall. And I have the earlier best in slot tank legendary of the Bracers. So without even trying to get tank legendaries, I got the best in slot tank legendaries. Meanwhile, the DPS ones I want, I get in the worst possible order. Now this is just one of many reasons why I think the Legion legendaries suck fucking ass. And in case you're thinking, oh hey, it's not that bad, like legendaries aren't that big of a deal, allow me to just give you a little bit of insight. I did some simulation DPS tests on my character where with and without the ring and legendary pants, without them I did like with this set of gear here, my simulation DPS was 450,000 higher than it is without them. So having these two fucking pieces of gear raised my DPS from like 1.4 mil to like I think it was like 1.86 or something. Yeah, just fucking ludicrous how important these legendaries are and how unlucky I was in getting them. But on the plus side though, hey, proof that my luck is fucking shit. And it's just, you know, some people can say they have bad luck. I got fucking proof in the way that I got these stupid legendaries. And I wish I wasn't telling the truth. I wish I was making this up, but I'm not making this up. It's the worst. It is the worst. And I hate the legendary system, and I'm gonna go over that whole disaster in another video. But for now, all you need to know is that these legendaries that need luck, I got the worst of it. So if you're ever thinking, hey man, I hate these legendaries, I feel you. I feel your luck. And hopefully you have a better time than I do. Anyways, that's all I wanted to go over in this video. If you got things you want me to talk about in the future, leave a comment in the section below. My name's Ian. Be sure to like, subscribe, click the bell, make sure you don't miss another video, and I'll see you guys next time.